Konbini kareshi episode 4. I'm still watching this. If I wanted to see if it gets better, which is usually what I do when I'm watching a currently airing season of anime, even if it's really not good, Big Order, Taboo, Tattoo, Rewrite, all good examples of anime that I've watched to completion that were horrible anime. Plus, it's just fun to rant about it. Although this isn't much of a rant, it's more of just complaining about how boring it is. Which again, it's still pretty boring. So on to what happened this episode. There was the sports festival and the student council president. She was picked to run in one of the relay races, which I don't know why, because she's a nerdy girl with glasses who's obviously not athletic. I don't understand this. And then we're trying to find somebody else to run with her because it was a three-legged race, where they tie your legs together and then you have to work together, right? And nobody was volunteering, which doesn't the teacher usually do that? If nobody volunteers and they pick somebody. But again, the best friend of the main character, he inserts himself into the scene by saying that he will run with her, and then he says that he'll train with her because she says that she's not really athletic and can't run. So he says that he'll train with her, and they start training at this swim park. Although they were talking about it, and then she was like, where are we gonna train? We can't do it at school. But don't y'all have parks or something? Y'all could have come up with that on your own, except they were sitting outside of the convenience store where apparently all this major plot is supposed to be happening. And the guy who works there, who I think is goes to their high school or something. Yeah, I don't know. He comes out and he's like, I know the perfect place for you guys to train. And then I think that's the last time we see him in this episode. Again, things are just happening just to happen, without any rhyme or reason. There was no point to that. They could have figured it out themselves, that they could go to the park and train there. Whatever. So they go to the park and she's telling her that, because he does this thing where he compliments her, but he already knows that she thinks that is insincere because he is a popular guy, and she thinks that he's doing it just to tease her, and yet he still continued to do it instead of finding a different way to approach her. I mean, maybe that's just me. Is that just me? Because if somebody tells you one way of approaching them is not working, wouldn't you try and find a different approach? Maybe that's just me. Which I think she likes him. Because here's the thing, it looks like she likes him because of all the blushies. She blushes every time he compliments her or says something to her or whatever. And in this episode, they had to have their arms around each other so that they could do the three-legged race. And she was blushing, and she was saying how she didn't want him to put his arms around her and stuff. And blushing while she said, which clearly shows that she likes him. However, the way that he's approaching it is making it very hard for her to believe that he truly cares about her, which I can understand. Other than that, he's pushing her to do this when it's clear that she really doesn't want to, which I'm not sure how that's going to play out further down the line. have the MC's crush, um, and she's like struggling to find something to like a way to help out with the sports festival. Um, and then I think it was the best friend who suggested that she make charms. So she does that for the whole episode. For like no other reason than he suggested that she do it. And yeah. Again, we see the MC talking about swimming. Because he goes to one of the after school activity things right after he's done swimming and he's still drying his hair. However, we never see him actually swimming, which would be actually interesting to the plot because it's our MC likes to swim. Why not show him swimming and have that be a main plot point to the story? Instead, like we have all this other stuff that really doesn't matter, like the sports festival. There was nothing that tied into the actual characters, other than the MC's crush was making good luck charms for everybody in the sports festival. Like, it's really boring because nothing is actually happening, which I'm not one of those people who thinks that there needs to be like a whole bunch of drama in order to be interesting. But a little bit of drama to make you care about the characters is good. Like in Koitsu Uso, I've been loving that. From the first episode, they make you care about the character because they establish that he likes this girl, and then they give you hope that they can be together, and then immediately squash it. That makes you immediately care about the characters. I don't care about these characters because nothing is happening of any importance. It's just boring to watch because they're so happy-go-lucky, and it's like, okay, so why are we watching this if nothing is going to happen, right? So, I mean, they run the race with no problems. We don't actually get to see the race. We get to see at the end of the race, they like are sitting on the ground and they untie their legs, and that's it. So really, no point in this episode. The MC and his crush are walking home after the festival, and it starts to rain, so they run for cover. The crush opens her bag and sees that there's an umbrella, but doesn't use it because she wants to stay there with the MC, which, I mean, honestly, I should care that she's showing that she has interest in the MC. Like that scene should have made me go, oh my god, she actually likes him, you know, but it didn't because I don't care. The worst thing for an anime. These kids have no problems, no issues, no drama. The closest thing we came to was when the MC and his best friend were fighting, and that went nowhere because they made up immediately afterwards. The only other thing was when they thought that the crush had a boyfriend, and then it turned out that he didn't. If it had turned out that she did, that would have been brilliant drama. However, the way they went about it was that they just assumed that because she was talking to somebody that she had a boyfriend, which was like immediately the way that was brought up was stupid, so it didn't make me care. And then like it was confirmed that she didn't have a boyfriend, so again, didn't make me care. I mean, there are anime that don't have a whole bunch of drama that still make you care about the characters. Ore Monogatari is a brilliant anime. It is so cute. It's so fluffy. It's so adorable. I freaking love it. I would watch it again. I probably will because I need an anime to watch. I just finished the Ra, and that was meh. So I'm thinking of like rewatching Ore Monogatari, But I mean, it is a brilliant anime, and there is really not much drama that goes on in there. But you still care about the characters because, like, they're interesting. They are interesting characters. None of these characters are interesting. They're just like happy all the time. Anyway, it's like these characters are completely monotone and just supposed to be happy all the time and not feel anything other than joy and happiness. And it's completely boring to watch. To be completely honest. However, I'm gonna keep watching. I don't know, it might get interesting down the line. And if it doesn't, well, it's not like I have anything else to do. I'm only watching 3 anime this season, so if you have any recommendations for romance slice of life anime that are currently airing this season, please leave them in the comments below, please. I would greatly appreciate that. Catch me for my review of Welcome to the Ballroom.